Let's look at this example here. Continuing measurements and looking at length, area and volume. This question says the sides of a cube are 3 centimeters long. Determine the total surface area and the volume of that cube. Alright, we're going to look at it in two ways. You know, there is a formula, and we mentioned it before, for the volume. And we said the volume of a cube, or it could be a cuboid, is the length multiplied by the width multiplied by the height of that cube or cuboid. And we saw why. Alright, we could count up the number of cubes that make it up. Now, as for the surface area, there is another formula for that. There is a formula for that, but we won't really depend too much on the formula. But let's just mention it here, since we're talking about formula. The surface area, the total surface area of the cube, would be the length times the width and 2 of that length times width plus 2 times the width times the height plus 2 times the length times the height. Now that formula, if you're not familiar with it, it wouldn't really make too much sense. So let's not really depend too much on formulas at this time. You notice I now leave out the multiplication sign, or my multiplication sign here, where I use the asterisk. You don't necessarily have to do that when you have two letters multiplying, alright, or a number and a letter. But anyway, let's see how we go about determining the surface area and the volume. Now, let us draw our cube. Let me bring this down a little. I want to draw our cube. So I have each side 3 centimeters. Alright, so this is the face of our cube. Remember, each side is 3 centimeters. So we have, even though this is not drawn to scale, let's pretend as if each side is 3 centimeters. Alright? Okay, so there we have our cube. Now, since each side is 3 centimeters, let us divide the sides into the 3 centimeters. That's 1, 2, 3 centimeters. 1, 2, 3 centimeters. So let's draw down this line and this line. This line is a bit far. Let's put it here. It looks more like it. Then let us divide the width into 3 centimeters and the height into 3 centimeters. This height into 3 centimeters. Let's draw lines to divide it up. Now this length here, we divide it into 3 equal parts to make each part a centimeter. And we do the same here. For this and for this. Good. So what we have is a height of 1, 2, 3 centimeters, a width of 1, 2, 3 centimeters, and a length of 1, 2, 3 centimeters. Now, let's see how we could find the volume first. Let's do the volume first. We know that it would be 3 times 3 times 3. But how are we really sure about that? You expect it to be 3 by 3 by 3. But we want to verify the answer. So the volume would be, equal to 3 times 3 times 3. And that would be 27 cm cube. We could also put 27 cubic cm. Now, let's check that and see how it works. By counting cubes, we have this cube, this one here, you see the width, length and height. So let's mark it, that's 1. This one, just behind it, that's the second. And this one here behind that one, the third in the row, that's the third. So we counted 3 cubes already. Let's go to the second, let's call it the second floor. We have this cube, 1, this 2, this 3. Good. And this cube, 4. No, we have 1, 2, 3. So how many cubes have we looked at so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Good. That's 9 cubes so far. Now, I want to just dot the front and the top of these cubes to make sure that they've already been dotted. Now, what about the middle set of cubes? We have 1, 2, 3 cubes so far, but behind it you have another set. This cube at the top, let's dot the top of it, where we can see we have this cube. This one, we cannot see the other side, but we can see the top. But we know there are 2 more below it. So we have 1, 2, 3. Going down, 4, 5, 6. We can't see them. And this one at the top here, that is 7th. One of them is below that. We can't see it, but we know that's the 8th, and there's a third one below. That's the 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 cubes in the middle. 9 cubes on the right, 9 cubes in the middle. Alright? So we have covered all these 9s to the right. Then we cover these 9s in the middle. Because remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the right. It's the same thing in the middle here. That's another 9. But what about on the left? Talking about 1, 2, 3. Alright? We have behind it 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 7, 8, 9 behind this one. So we have 3 rows of cubes to the right. So what we have is really 3 stacks of 9 cubes, which is 27. 3 times 3 gives you 9, and then times this next 3 gives you 27. Now, You notice the 3 by 3 also gives us one of the surface areas of this cube. But now that we see the volume, let's look at the surface area. How do we deal with the surface area of this cube? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9, an area of 9 square feet at the front. Alright? Or not 9 square feet, 9 square centimeters at the front. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 at the front. Now, that being the front of it, are we looking here? At the front, you will have 9 centimeters squared at the front. But if you were to go behind here and look in this direction, all right, this is you, and you're looking here, you would see the same thing. So at the back, you have 9 centimeters squared. So the front and back would be 9. Now notice the width 3 multiplied by the height would give us that same 9, although we had counted the square faces here. Now let us say that you're looking to the right of this cube. What would you see? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have on the right, we have 9 centimeters squared. All right. Now, if you come over here and you look this way, you would also see 9 centimeters squared, a repeat of what we have over here. So, on the left, we have 9 centimeters squared. So far, we have the front. At the front, we have 9 plus, at the back, we have 9 plus, on the left, we have 9, and on the right, we also have 9 centimeters squared. We're leaving out something. Let's look at it. Here, if we look at the top of 1, 2, 3 faces, square faces, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 from the top. You see that? So what we have is 9 looking from the top, 9 plus. If you go below and look up at the bottom of this cube, you would also see 9 square faces, 9 centimeters squared. Now 9 plus 9, that's 18. So we have 18 plus, then this 9 plus 9 is another 18 plus, then this other 9 plus 9 is another 18. Alright? So what we have is 18 by 3. Now, this 18 by 3, let's calculate it over here. 18 multiplied by 3. 3 is 24. Bring down the 4. Carry 2. 3, 2, 3, 1, 3, 4, 5. 54. So the surface area here is 54 centimeter squared. We see the volume as 27 already. Now this formula that I had here, how would it work out? 2 by the length times the width. It would be 2 times 3 times 3. But the 3 by 3 is 9. And the reason why you have the 2 is because you're counting the front and the back. So 2 by length by width means the front and the back. The length and the width of the front and the back. Repeat, so you have 2 of that. Plus the width and the width and the height. Now, if I consider here the length, if I consider this to be the length and this the width, right, we will be talking about the top and bottom for this part. Alright, width and height. If I consider this to be the width and this the height, what we're talking about is the front and the back. 2 times the front times the back, because the front and back have the same area. What about the length and height? If we're talking about the length here and the height here, the length and height multiplied to give you one side. We double that because the left and the right have the same area. So that's why the formula would work. 2 times length times height. Right? But don't try to remember any formula. It's better you understand the problem and quickly derive the formula. Those formulas that, well, some of the formulas that you might not be able to remember or remember properly, they are in the formula sheet of your exam. Alright? But we've looked at how you can actually count squares and count cubes to get the total surface area and the total volume of a cube. But you do have these formulas that you can use. Right? Now, we'll just take a break for now and we end this video, and I'll see you in the next video.